Good evening, everyone. So let's consider the next topic, which is photoelectric effect. And before that, let me say something about the past lecture and also the assignment that I sent. So there was a mistake in the exercise, and now I corrected it. And I also sent I basically collected all the exercises that are there in the note and put it in assignment one, and I send it as a separate file. You can upload in Google Classroom the link that Shantanu said for solutions. And I think at next week we'll have the first session on this thing, all the doubts, as well as the tutorial session of this. And these are very simple problem, it's not very difficult. So let us now go to the first this experiment, which is by Hertz and Leonard. So I'll use this whiteboard because I could not LaTeX the whole thing, and but the basic Asians are in the LaTeX already. But these experiments, I don't know if you do it in the lab or not. As a student, I did this experiment and measured Planck constants. Maybe it is there in your BTech lab. If not, I'll try to just describe this experiment, but you can read from any book, Beiser or Murugesh or any book. So this is a simple circuit you can see here, and let me use a different kind of dryer. Yeah. So there is a metal plate, and you basically put incident light here, and when light actually when you hit by some light with some energy, and then what will happen that it will excite the electron, and electron will come out, and there is this positive electrode, and it will attract the electron, and you can register a current. And the basic description of current, or let's say if you consider the intensity or the light is as wave, the intensity of the light is basically proportional to the amplitude, or if I write as mod a square, this was the wave nature of light description, right? So when the light is hitting this metal plate, it is exciting the electrons, and the electrons are creating a current in the circuit, and the number of electrons would be proportional to the intensity, and so is the current. And if you try to measure, let's say that if you reduce the intensity, slowly the number of electron will reduce, and slowly, if you just reduce the intensity, let's say I call it I0, then you pick up only one electron. But this one electron will also, create some sort of a current, and you can measure the energy of this electron by something called stopping voltage or retarding voltage. So what do? You basically you change this electrode, you make it negative, and this one is positive. So then this particular electrode will repel this electron, and at some point there will be no current, and you know that the kinetic energy of the electron would be equal to the stopping voltage of this circuit. This is how you measure the kinetic energy of the electron. So let's try to understand the classical description of our understanding. So if you increase the intensity, the photoelectric current will also increase. That is because this number, let's say you have intensity I1, and then you go to I2 and I3, and let's say I2 is greater than I1 and I3 is greater than I2, then you get let's say N1 number of electron, N2 number of electron, and N3 number of electrons. These numbers will also increase, so you have more and more number of electron. Now if you have a sufficient intensity for a given intensity, if you go to a maximum intensity, let's say I max, then what will happen, you have taken out all n electrons, and that depends on the intensity. So for I1 there is a maximum number of electron that can come out, for I2 there is another maximum number of electron that can come out, and similarly for I3. So when you have this is another plot where you have this is say if you plot it with respect to the voltage, so this is the voltage of the circuit and this is the saturation current, because you have taken out all the electron for a given intensity. So this plot is for one given intensity for one metal, and this current is known as saturation current because the current will not increase anymore. Now what you will do, if you try to put the reverse voltage and try to stop it, and then or so basically you reduce the intensity as well as you reduce the um, when you reduce the intensity, it is like less number of electron will come out, so the current will drop, so that you get the curve. But at some point you only pick up only one electron, and even if you increase the reverse voltage, at some point no electrons will come out, the current will be zero. So this is the stopping voltage, and this is, let's say, minus V03. Now what you do, this is they're pretty similar. So let's say this is the red and this is the whatever brown and this is the blue, let's say. So if you go from red, brown and blue, the frequency will increase like this from red to blue. And if you change the incident light and if you keep the intensity same, you get the saturation current same. But when you are reducing the intensity, or you are actually putting the negative voltage to basically repel all the electrons, at some point to reduce the current to zero, you see your required voltage, this minus V10 and minus V20 are different. So that means if you change the light, even if you keep the saturation intensity or the maximum intensity is the same, you see still the stopping voltage are different. So why the stopping voltage are different cannot be answered by this classical picture if the intensity is only depends on the amplitude of the wave. So there is something more to it, and this question alone actually put things in perspective, that the wave nature of the light is under question. So if you remember the Young's double slit experiment, it was the particle nature of electron that was questionable and it was behaving like a wave. Now we are seeing a reverse kind of phenomena, that the current which is proportional to the amplitude or intensity, then we cannot explain this phenomena, this different stopping voltage. So additional information is needed, and only intensity cannot give you the complete picture. There is something else going on, and like intensity can give you the total number of electron or the maximum electron that are ejected, but it cannot give the information of the energies of the electron, because if it is only depends on the intensity, then no matter which light you use, the stopping voltage should be the same, because stopping voltage is what, the electrons are getting energy from the light that is coming onto the metallic plate, and they are getting some kinetic energy. Now you are reversing the kinetic energy by putting a negative voltage, and you are trying to stop that electron. When none of the electron can cross, then there is no current, the current becomes zero, and the voltage is called stopping voltage. If it is depends only on the intensity, then for all the lights the stopping voltage should be the same, but it is not the same. So this kind of picture tells you that the different light, how do you differentiate the different light? Different lights are basically lights with different frequencies. So the light frequency nu and the stopping voltage, let's say call, how do I name it, let's say V stop, they are related. And even if you can stop only one electron, when the last electron, let's say one electron that is coming out by stop voltage, that the stopping voltage, that can give a measure of the frequency of the incident light. And there was additional observation was also there, that when you use the red light, you get lesser stopping voltage, and if you compare to the blue or yellow, so whatever in the higher in the frequency range, so that means it was understood that the frequency is responsible in giving the kinetic energy to the electron. This was the understanding, the initial understanding, and it got clarified with more experiment. There is one more thing that I'll come back to the next section of the lecture, is that all these things that I told is valid for one metal surface, which is here. If you change the metal surface, then again the picture will change, because different metal has different binding energy. Some metals, the electrons are loosely bound, or some metals, the electrons are very strongly bound. So that is another feature. But this question, whether the stopping voltage or the electron kinetic energy should depend on only on the intensity or on the frequency, are understood from even with the single plate experiment also, because we know that it cannot depend on fully on the intensity. It will depend on the frequency of the incident light, and that needs a different description or different kinematics of the electron that's coming out. So I'll talk about the kinematics in the next section of the lecture. Thank you.